There are so many myths out there. You know what? Diets are stupid. Diets are stupid. There, I said it. But we have been lied to. We have been poured on so much information. We have been manipulated. But amongst all of that, there is some very valuable information out there. There is very valuable information. But the problem is knowing what is the valuable information. And in order to find that valuable information, you have to be willing to say no and yes at the right times. How do you do that? How do you do that? Well, first, understanding your body. When you join a diet, keto, you have to eat these foods. You cannot eat these foods, and you have to do it this way. So many rules. When you join a diet, there are so many rules. There's Weight Watchers. You can only eat by points. It's not teaching you what is good for your body. It is not teaching you how your body should feel with the food. It is not teaching you the value of nutrition for your body. I have never done Weight Watchers. I never could see the point in counting points. I have done keto. Keto was hard for me. I missed my fruit. I missed those certain foods. I missed the carbs. My body needs carbs. I actually do better and feel better when I have carbs. But it's not carbs like bread. It's not carbs like pasta. It is carbs like the good vegetables. So when you have good carbs, your body thrives. Having good proteins, your body thrives. Good fats and good fiber, your body thrives. So how do you know what to eat and what diet to do? The thing is that if they are telling you, like with intermittent fasting, there are so many people that I have talked to when they are intermittent fasting. They're like, oh, well, can I eat this? Will this break my fast? Is this okay to eat? Is this, so there's so many questions of what should I do and how do I do it? And I'm so ashamed. I know this is a bad food. I know I'm doing this wrong. It's a fucking lie. You are not doing it wrong. You're doing what your body has been taught to do. You're doing what you have done for a long time. And in order for you to lose weight, you have to decide to change and do something different. First of all, thinking that what you're eating is bad. Labeling food as good or bad makes you feel bad when you eat foods that you think are bad for you. It makes you feel good if you think you're doing the right foods. Sometimes good food that you think is good is actually not good for you. Sometimes the bad food, which you think is bad for you, is actually good for you. But in order to know that, you have to be able to understand what your body does well on. Some people do better on a vegan diet. Some people do better on, only eating certain types of food. Some people do better on, it doesn't matter what you are eating. It is how your body feels when you are eating. And we overuse food as comfort. We overuse food to mask our feelings. We overuse food and we don't use it properly. Food is meant to fuel your body. That's it. Food is not supposed to entertain you. Food is nourishment for your body. How do you decide what is the right food for you? Eat it. See how you feel. But the problem is also, how much do you eat? How much should you eat? We are not taught to understand our hunger cues. We are not taught to understand when we're actually full. What the difference between a false sense of hunger, which is a craving, which if you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna die if I don't eat something. That is a craving. That is false hunger. That is not good for you. That is because we have raised our insulin so high and it keeps crashing and it creates these cravings inside of us. We become sugar burners. We are no longer burning fat. Fat on our body is a good thing. We want the fat on our body. And the reason we want the fat on our body is it helps fuel our bodies. That is where our energy comes from, is the fat on our bodies. The problem is we keep fueling our bodies and not using the fuel that we have in storage. The fat layers in our body, that is our fat storage. We're not using that. We are running on, we need that dopamine hit. We need we're feeding our cravings. We're feeding our emotions. We're feeding, we're bored. So we're like, oh, well, I must be hungry. I have nothing to do, so I'm going to eat. So many things that we are doing is because of outside circumstances. We're not taught to look inside. Am I actually hungry? Do I actually need a hug instead? Do I actually need something else? Do I need to go for a walk? Am I actually thirsty? So many of us, this burns my butt. When you tell people that they need to drink more water, and they say, I hate water. If you will look up the study of what your words and what negative energy does to water, it actually has a negative effect on your body. So when you hate something, you are actually making it chaotic when it comes into your body. If you say you hate water and your body needs water, your body does not function if it doesn't have water. If you're overweight, if you're tired, if you're fatigued, if you're not sleeping well, you need more water. And most people are saying that they hate water because they're so used to drinking soda pop, which is horrible. It is like overloading your system with sugar, and you are creating cravings. You are creating so much havoc on your bones, your muscles, everything. So when you become a sugar burner and you keep feeding it with sugar, you're never going to lose weight. You're never going to lose weight if you do not start changing and quit feeding it all the sugar. Flour and sugar products, they all convert to sugar. So you don't want to be eating that stuff. So what do you do instead? Proteins. Eat proteins. Eat proteins first. That's what your body needs. Your body thrives. Your muscle, you can actually build muscle by adding extra protein and not even exercising. So what do you do when you add the protein? You're full longer. You add a little bit of fat. You stay satiated longer. You're not hungry as long. You're not constantly wanting to nibble and bite and snack. Another thing that we do, another mistake that people do, eyeballing your food. Well, this is a serving. This is a serving. I challenge you to go take and actually eyeball something and go, this is a serving. And then actually go measure that. Go see how far off your eyeball is. And when you are loading something up and you feel like, oh, I'll just have one more spoonful. That's extra spoonful that you put on your plate over the course of a week, you could be adding to 300 to 600 extra calories during the week, which results in you gaining weight. Thinking that you're eyeballing your food. It's bullshit. Don't eyeball your food until you are actually 100% sure that that is a serving, that you know how much you're eating. Just a handful of nuts. I'm just going to have a small handful of nuts. Measure it, weigh it, see how much it actually is. You'll be surprised that that extra half a serving that is actually in your little hand of food, that's making you gain weight. And you're like, oh, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing it all right. No, go back to the basics. Go back to the basics of what your food is. Are you drinking enough water? Are you sleeping well? Are you getting enough exercise during the day? Are you getting 10,000 steps a day? Are you getting your ass up and moving? Are you walking around? Are you walking places? Are you parking at the farthest end of the parking lot and making sure you get an extra 30 steps? Take 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Get up and walk for that amount of time. That all adds up. Just like those little teeny bits, a burst of exercise, they add up. Those extra little spoonfuls, that bite of something that you're tasting when you're cooking, that bite of somebody's food, that couple little handfuls of things that you just grab throughout the day and throw in your mouth. They all add up. And you're wondering why you're not losing weight. You're wondering why you just can't do it. If you're not looking at what you're doing and going back to the basics and seeing exactly what it is that you are doing, you're never going to lose weight. You're never going to lose weight. You have to look at what you're doing. If you're going to clean your house, you can't clean your house unless you see the dirt. So in order for you to see what's going on and how to lose weight, you have to look at the dirt. What am I doing? What should I be doing? What can I do better? This burns my butt. So many people have so much misinformation. It frustrates me. It frustrates me to no end to see all these people so confused and just, well, how do I do this? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Drink water. Eat less food, because you need to eat the amount of food that your ideal body needs to eat, not how much you're eating right now. And everybody talks about calorie deficit. It's not really I don't like to say calorie deficit. There's so many diet people out there talking about calorie deficit. I don't like to talk about calorie deficit. What you need to do is eat the amount of calories, nutrition, fiber, carbs, fats, and proteins. Eat the amount of food that your ideal body needs to eat. That is what you should do. How you do that, that is entirely up to you. I can help you with that. I do one-on-one coaching. I have a weight loss group. I do this kind of stuff. This is my jam. I love this, but it's like, if you don't see what you're doing now, you're never going to change. You're never going to actually not change, but it's not going to be sustainable. If you are saying, well, I did this diet before in the past, it worked before. No, it didn't. Because if it did work, you would not be gaining the weight back. You would not be fat again. You would not have gone back to where you were. You didn't learn anything. You didn't change anything. You may have temporarily lost that weight and you didn't gain it back. You gained new weight back because you did it all over again. It's all brand new weight. It has nothing to do with what you did in the past. If it didn't work and it's not working now, it didn't work then. So, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to actually do the work needed to stop and pause and go, okay, it's my fault that I'm fat. It's my fault that I had that extra helping. It's my fault. But not only is it your fault, it is also not your fault because of the misinformation that you have been fed your whole life. When I was younger, the big fad came out that it was like, oh, low fat. Low fat is going to, that's the cause of why we are all obese. Oh, and so they cut out fat of everything. But in order to make anything taste good, they put sugar in it to make it taste good because they needed you to be able to eat it. Well, what that caused is it caused extra cravings. It caused your body to go out of whack. It caused your body to not function as well. So we became extremely obese. The obesity, I got my little thingy there, just keep dinging in front of it. I have a little, like a disco ball that's hanging, and when the sun hits, you're going to see the little rainbows. But, we became overweight because they took out the fat. You need fat in your diet. Fat, when you add fat to your fat, it's like adding gasoline to a fire, and you need fat in your diet. No way around it. You need fat in your diet. But it's not about having like tons of fat. It's about having good quality fats because your body knows what to do with fats. Your body knows what to do with foods that either grow or they have a mother. Your body knows what to do with. Anything that has been taken out of its natural form is going to cause your body a little bit of chaos. Sometimes, yes, it's good. Sometimes you can grind them up and do it, but it's when something is taken out of its natural form and mixed with all these things. I mean, look at the ingredients of some of the things. Read labels. Read labels, and it's like, do you even know what half the stuff is in those labels of packaged foods? There's some packaged foods that is like, 3 ingredients, and that's it. Yeah, that's fine. Your body knows what to do with those things. Your body doesn't know what to do with all the other stuff that is the dyes for flavor and the added preservatives and all the stuff that has been added to our food. Your body goes into chaos and is like, what the hell? What the hell are you doing to me? I don't even know what I'm feeling here. And so it spends all this time trying to process all the stuff and eliminate and hurry and send all your little white blood cells in there and little armies in there going, okay, this stuff is foreign. Let's work on that. So it throws your body out of whack. And then you feel like crap later. You're like, I don't know why I don't feel good. Well, did you read the labels? Did you read the labels of what you were actually eating? The best thing that you can do is eat foods that are real. That God, Mother Nature, whatever you want to do, it's like, it's not even as spiritual. It's not even anything. It's did this earth provide this food for you? That is what you should be eating. But you can still overeat good food. It's being able to discern when I sit down to eat. Am I aware of what I'm eating? Am I aware of how it tastes? Am I aware of what it smells like? Am I being present with my food? Do I sit there and I go, okay, my body is hungry. I am going to feed it because my body needs a little bit of energy. My body needs nutrition. My body is feeling hungry. But being able to sit with your food, eat, and then understand when your body says, okay, we're done. I don't need any more. I'm full. That's enough. You should never, ever eat until you're full. You should actually only eat until you are satisfied. When that hunger signal, when the grumbling of your stomach, when that feeling of hunger is gone, that's how much you should eat. Being able to listen to that, it's like, oh, okay, my body is comfortable. Sit with it. When you dish up your plate, put half of it back. Put half of it back. Seriously, put half of it back. Doesn't mean you can't have it. It does not mean you cannot have it. But what it does mean is that you can sit down and you can eat that meal and then you sit with yourself. Am I still hungry? Do I need more food? Do I need to drink water? You could sit there for, you're not going to die if you don't hurry and go back and get that other half. You may find that you didn't even need that other half, that you're completely fine with less food. And then when you find that out, you will see how you have been overeating. And if you are truly hungry and that hunger feeling is still there, go get a little bit more. But practice understanding what it feels like to be full. Satisfied, not full. You don't want to be full. Because if you are full, you've eaten too much. That is when you're like, oh my God, I can't hardly move. So like an hour later after you have eaten, if you are tired, you have eaten way too much. But do not beat yourself up, because it is like the coolest information. You'd be like, all right, now I understand that was a little bit too much food. So what do? Your next meal, you wait until you're hungry again. You wait until you are actually satisfied or hungry. Sorry. That you are actually feeling that hunger cue. Am I hungry or am I thirsty? If you're not sure between the two, drink water first. Drink a big glass of water and then wait. If that feeling of hunger is still there, you are probably hungry. Sit down, enjoy your meal, smell it, savor it, taste it. Be aware of what you are putting in your mouth. When you can do that, and then understand, it's like, okay, my body, my leptin has kicked in and said, hey, you're full. You have these hormones that never even turn on in your body. Leptin, ghrelin, and insulin are 3 hormones that most people do not understand. Everybody talks about insulin. It's not about insulin. Insulin has its job. You are supposed to have insulin in your body. That is its job. Its job is to take the food you eat and take it and store it in your fat cells for later use. The problem is we keep feeding it. And so insulin keeps rising. It keeps spiking up. But when there's too much insulin in the body, it actually will block leptin off at the brain. So your brain never even registers that you may be full. Have you ever had a meal where you ate and ate and ate and you're like, oh my God, I can't stop eating. And then an hour later, you're like, I still feel like I'm starving, but I'm bloated. My stomach hurts. Everything hurts, but I still feel like I'm starving. That's only insulin in your body. You're not hungry. It is false hunger. So you got to stop feeding it. You have to feel like shit for a little while. You will feel like ass. You will feel like a little bit of shit. Don't feed your insulin. Learn to teach your body how to love it so much that you're willing to go through a little bit of uncomfortable so you can stop feeding insulin. Insulin is like a 2-year-old in a grocery store that wants that candy, and they're tired and they're cranky and they're like having this big fit in the grocery store, and you know that they're tired, you know that they're hungry, you know that they're not their best, and they're screaming and having this fit for the chocolate bar. Do you give them that chocolate bar, or do you take them and put them down for a nap? Do you take them and love them? Do you hug them? Do you give them attention? Insulin is the same thing. Do you take it and feed it? Because the next time it has a fit, it's going to scream louder. It's going to know that, oh, if I do this, I will get chocolate. No, you wouldn't do that to your toddler. Why do you do it to your insulin? Don't do that. You want leptin and ghrelin. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone. It's going to come up and say, hey, when you get a chance, some food down here would be cool. But with that, I'm going to get off. Y'all have a fantastic day.